applied Salesforce. In this episode, we look at the intermediate level configuration. Without much ado, let's dive in. Kali, VP of Sales at upquotient.com, a career builder, transformer, and an amplifier company, has entrusted you, an enterprising Salesforce administrator, to implement an intuitive way to allow sales agents to invoke a wizard to quickly create account and related contacts. Multiple contacts by clicking the add button. The wizard should be invoked upon a button click and be prominently placed on account home. That's a list view of account. This is pretty fascinating requirement, and after analyzing this, I've built the flow. We will walk through that now. But prima facie, it depends on the button. The placement of the button is on the list view. Okay, you click on the account home page, the account tab. That's where I wanted. That's where the VP of Sales wanted the button to be placed. And what is important is a wizard. Okay, so the wizard is the business term for screen flow. Okay, so where the user get to interact. So let's dive in. Let's look at the flow component. Okay, so that's a screen flow, and the first is to capture. So you click on the button. We wanted the screen flow and allow the user to key in the account information, account details. So that's the screen component. The screen component is placed here, and within the screen component you have the screen component, and within the screen component a section component. The section component allows you to, the section component has it's divided into two sections. Okay, total is 12, the width 6 and 6, so it gives you a intuitive way to place the the fields. So here the fields that you see are the actual fields from account object. Earlier we used to look for a text component, drag and drop the text component into the screen component, but you could also create a record variable. So in this case I've created an account record variable through which you can pull all the actual fields from your database. These are all the actual fields from the account object. So all you have to do is to drag and drop. So you have a direct reference to the object fields. So you don't have to have the UI level component placed and then assign all the values into the actual fields, component fields, and before you proceed further, right? So this is important. It's just a account record variable, and I placed the fields that are key to this requirement into the section here. You can see this, and the footer is configured in this fashion. You can say use a custom label, create account and contacts. So this sums up the first screen, and you could also see the account record variable. This is what I was discussing. So it is just an account record variable. Data type is record and the object is account. Okay, and so once you capture the account related details, we use the create the component to insert the record. So it's pretty simple. I'm using the account record variable, which contains all the field values that the end user keyed in through the screen component. Okay, and the important thing to note is once the account record gets created, the ID of the created record would be pushed into the record variable. Okay, we could use this record variable when we create multiple contacts related to this account, and you wanted to link the contact, each of those contacts with this particular account, then you have to fill the foreign key on the contact, that's the account ID on the contact object with the row ID of the account. So this account variable, record variable, contain the row ID of the account. So that's when we get on to create contacts for this account. So this is the create one, and now we, as per the requirement, the wizard should allow to create multiple contacts, and then later on relate that all these contacts to the account concerned. So how are we going to do this? It's again a screen component. That's the main thing. And the screen component contains a repeater component. Okay, this is big. Okay, you could see the repeater component, and you drag and drop the repeater component, and inside the repeater component you look for the name field. There's a default field name which comprises, when you drag and drop that into the repeater component, you comprises of the first name and last name field, and then the email field. Okay, these have to be done separately, because just like the account, you cannot have the contact record variable and then pull that into the repeater component. Somehow the repeater component doesn't support this. It would have been better if the repeater component supports the contact record variable and the fields directly, but maybe it could change in the subsequent releases. And this repeater component offers the magic of adding multiple placeholders for multiple contacts. Okay, so that's one thing. Let's look at the next step. The next step is to loop through the contacts. So this repeater component, you can have multiple contacts. So what you're trying to do is to loop through the contacts from the repeater component. So you are looping over the repeater component and all items in the repeater component, first to last item. And for each contact, what you're trying to do is to assign the values from the contacts from each contact, right? So you have the repeater component contains multiple contacts. So and you're looping through each of the contact inside the repeater component. You're reading the contact values and then pushing those contact values into a contact record variable. So here you create a contact record variable. You could say contact record variable. So this contact record variable data type is record, and the object is contact. Okay, so the contact record variable will have the fields from the contact object. So the first one is the account ID, which is the foreign key on the contact object linking to the account that you created in step 1. So it has to be populated with the row ID of the account. So the row ID of the account, you get it from the account record variable, and it gets pushed into the foreign key. The second is the first name on the contact. You are getting it from the loop, the loop that iterates over the repeater, and the last name again from the loop item, and the email is also from the loop item. And once the record variable is populated, you need to add the record variable into another collection now. So contacts collection. So you could see here at the top, you have the contact record variable and contact collection variable. Okay, so you have 2 or 3 contacts in the repeater component, and you are iterating through each of the contact and then finally adding each of these contacts into a collection variable, because later on you can insert the whole collection as one step to have these contacts persist in the database. Okay, so this is a significant step here. And outside of the loop, you have the create component. So you're utilizing the contacts collection and using the contacts collection to insert the contacts into the database. Okay, and as usual, you'll have the if there are any exceptions that gets invoked, you log that into the error log custom object. Okay. Okay, so let's say this is the first step, and the second part of this is to configure the list button. So similar to how you configured the the detail page button, and this has to be done on the account home, which is on the list view. So navigate to account object, click on buttons, links, and actions. Click on new button or link, and when you click here, you will have to select the list button. Okay, you have to select the list button and provide the URL. Okay, the URL again, you go back to the flows. Let's say the flows, and this is the flow. You will have to get the flow URL. Okay, view details and versions, and this is the flow URL. You need to copy this. Okay, copy this and then navigate here, place it, and along this you need to also mention the return URL. Let's see how this is configured. I've done this already, so let me pull that configuration. So let's look at the list buttons, email. Yeah, I can see create contacts and account and contacts, and edit it. Let's look at the URL. Okay, all others are straightforward. What's important is the choice of list button here, and this is the flow URL. And you're saying once the account and related contacts are created, navigate me back. Okay, navigate me back into this particular list view. Okay, navigate me back to this particular list view. This is a custom list view that I created. I think this is the standard list view. So how you get to this is, let's say you are on accounts list, accounts tab. These are the list views. Okay, so new this week is something which is standard, and you get to this, right? So you have slash lightning slash count list and filter name new this week. Okay, so this is exactly what you copy from your base URL. Right after the base URL, you copy whichever view you wanted. It could be a custom view, it could be a standard view that you wanted to take the user to. Okay, so that's what you see here. So this is a return URL. Once the operation is complete, where the user should be navigated to. Okay, and this is a list view. So typically you do the configuration slightly different. You could see list view button layout. Okay, you could see this is the list button. So you need to place that inside this layout. Okay, you could edit this and drag and drop the sorry, you have the you typically have this like this. So you add that into the selected button, and you could save it. Okay, and once you save, you get to see that here you could say create account and contacts. navigate to account and on any of the views, okay, on any of the views, let's say all accounts view, any of the view, doesn't matter, okay, you have this, click on the button, okay, so it should offer you the first screen, which is allowing users to enter the details, let's say education, employees, there are about 200, rating is really hard, and type is technology partner. So you're creating an account now, so that's this step. So you have captured the details, and then this step. So you have captured the details, and then you are going to create the account. Okay, so create account and then start off with the contacts. So the account is created now, and the contact, let's say I have Joe and Joe and Joe at upq.com. Okay, and I can add multiple contacts. That's the power of the repeater. Okay. Let's say dot go at, okay, and let's stop with 2, click on save. So I wanted this to take me to the new this list view, and you could see UPQ Salem. Click on that, you should see 2 contacts created. Okay, so that's the quick demonstration of how you construct the requirement. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. Bye bye.